Today is Forex Doomsday. A huge announcement is being made today at 2 p.m. US Eastern by the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell going over the interest rate decision here in the United States. Now, with everything loaded up, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's dive right into this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and let's jump in. All right, guys, so UK inflation. This is something we've got to start the day with. A little light start to the day. Inflation spikes suddenly in the UK. Annual inflation rate in the UK unexpectedly rose to 10.4% in February from the 10.1% in January. The first increase in 4 months and compared to forecasts of 9.9%. They're really hoping in the UK to get back underneath that 10% terrifying number when it comes to inflation. 10% is no joke, guys. And food inflation hit its highest since 1977 due to shortages of salad produce and other vegetables. Upward pressure also came from the prices of drinks and clothes. Let me ask my UK friends out there. Are you guys drinking a little too much? Is that why the price of drinks is going up? Or maybe you just have really great fashion sense and everyone's buying clothes and driving prices. I don't know what's going on, but the fact that we're still above 10% in the UK, that's pretty scary and has the pound going wild. We'll cover that in a moment. But before we can get into the charts, we also have to talk about today's really important news event, which is of course the Federal Reserve's decision and forward guidance when it comes to interest rates. The markets expect a quarter-point rate increase from the Federal Reserve, taking its benchmark funds rate to a range of 4.75 to 5%, its highest level since late 2007. The Fed could alter its post-meeting statement from saying ongoing increases may be appropriate to something that suggests a less certain outlook. We are looking very closely, guys, for any signs of dovishness, which could cause the dollar to come down and the stock market and gold market to rally tremendously. We'll cover more of that as we get into the charts. Fed officials will release their projections for unemployment, inflation, gross domestic product, and perhaps most importantly, the peak rate where it will end its hiking campaign. This is what it's all about. We know that at some point the Federal Reserve will have to stop raising interest rates, but how far out is that? How far will they go? And how soon is it going to stop? Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's post-meeting news conference will also attract much attention, with traders hoping for comments on how the central bank will maintain financial stability. And this is in light of recent bank failures, where we've had several key names threatening going into bankruptcy, and other central banks or other banks around the world sort of having to step in to try and stop the bleeding, if you will, on some notable banks. Now, we talked briefly about this, and in case you weren't here yesterday, let's jump into the charts. Now, you may be asking, where is all this recent dovishness coming from? Why do people think the rate hikes are only going to be 25 basis points and slowing down? Well, here's one of the big reasons. A lot of banks, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, have been collapsing in the United States, and we also had Credit Suisse, which is a big, huge bank that has also sort of recently been bought out. A crazy move in the markets and causing volatility for both the forex traders, stock traders. At the end of the day, guys, whether you trade stocks, forex, doesn't matter. They're all connected. They're all the same thing. And the thing here is that with bank failures going on, we're seeing some chaos across the board. In fact, we also saw the dollar recently plummet. Why is that? Here's the daily chart, which was bragging of a 105 breach, now has completely collapsed back down to 103 and does not show any immediate signs of wanting to stop. Why is this? Well, part of the big reason is, of course, with these bank failures, a lot of people are expecting the Fed to come in softer than expected previously, perhaps talking about slowing their rate hikes or even stopping altogether in upcoming meetings. This is why the market has sold the dollar very heavily and gone sort of into the camp of things like gold, which has exploded recently. Full transparency, I'm actually long gold, and if you guys would like to see my trades today, we're going to do something that we've actually never done before for a major event. I'm going to let everybody who wants to join the Discord today join for for free. And here's how you can do that. There is a link down below in the description that will take you to our website where you can chat with a representative here. If you send the word free Discord and chat that to one of our support reps, they'll set you up with a trial to check out the action today on one of our most exciting days of the entire month. Inside of our group, we do live trading, we share coaching webinars and all sorts of good stuff. And if you want to try out the group for the day, come join us. Again, click that link down below in the description and you can chat with a rep, ask them for a free trial of the Discord, and they'll set you up so that you can see for yourself what the group is all about. And again, I expect that you'll find it to be very valuable, and hopefully you'll stick around for the long term. That's the idea behind giving trials. Just full transparency, I want more people who are serious about this stuff to join our group for life. Anyways, gold exploded recently and has recently sort of started to pull back off of that recent run up. I've actually been looking for longs. I have a trade open right now, but I have the potential interest, and I mentioned this in my first trade alert on gold in the long while, is that I'd be interested in possibly taking another attempt on the long side when it comes to gold, should we see deeper retracements. I have a bullish outlook when it comes to gold. We made a really impressive move up to 2,000, price sold off from there, and I think that this is pullback opportunity central going forward. Why is that? Again, I think that the dollar right now, the trade has sort of cracked for the long side, and gold showing a lot of tremendous strength and actually topping as one of the top buy signals here on the Edge Finder. You can see we get a +4 scoring high in COT data, seasonality, trend reading, GDP growth, and unemployment. If you don't know what I just said, I know it's a lot, but let's start with something really simple. We could take a look at the smart money tracker. This is showing us in terms of institutional money what they're buying and selling. And right now we have gold as one of the top buy positions of institutional traders. Now, how do we track this? Well, it's the COT report data, and we can see that right now in terms of contracts opened, it's about 65% long. That's a swing or a bias to the upside for gold going into a major news event like this. Now, of course, the markets could go all over the place on the actual release, but I have a bullish outlook on gold, and I will be looking for long setups. If I take that trade or take more trades on gold, you'll see that all inside of our Discord channel, which shares all of my trade alerts as well as the rest of my team. I'll show you guys what this looks like just so you can see a little bit of context here. So we have chat rooms available, all sorts of good stuff, which again, click that link down below in the description. You can join us for the day for free, but I'll share my trades and things like that in here with full explanations and breakdowns. If that's something you'd like, make sure to join us for today's chaos. Let's keep going. We'll talk more about some charts. And again, the dollar trade is an interesting one. Another one that's very, very catching my eye right now is the S&P 500. You guys, if you know me, then you know one of my favorite trades in the whole wide world is being long the S&P 500. And we've recently seen, perhaps the first time in a while, a actually strong break to the upside. Yesterday was a massive day in my stock portfolio, as well, I'm sure, for many other people who are, long oriented when it comes to stocks. But on the short term basis, I'm actually potentially looking for trades. Now, I have to warn you guys, the Edge Finder's not caught up to any bullish signals yet. So I'm still hesitant on getting long in the short term for any trades on things like NAS, SPX 500, or US 30. I'm hesitant on that side, and I'll show you why. You've got SPX 500 as a sell, US 30 as a sell, German 30 as a sell, UK 100 as a sell. So I am red flags away from buying this in the short term right now. However, today, if we get a pop to the upside, these trend readings are going to start flipping it to the upside, which could actually produce some bullish signals on these assets. Now, again, trend reading on the Edge Finder, it basically looks at a series of price action and trend following metrics like moving averages to derive a general view of the trend. It mostly uses 4-hour and daily charts. So if we see a swing to the upside, perhaps these things can flip bullish, and we may even get the green light to potentially get long on things like SPX 500. What I'm looking for personally, in order for that to occur, in order for my bias to flip bullish, we need to see this thing break to the upside. We need to see strength come into this market and perhaps break things like 4060, 4050, this zone here, and start to put in those higher lows and higher highs. I would absolutely love to be long on the indices. Like I said, it is one of my favorite trades in the world. So if I can find that trade, I'll be looking for it myself, waiting to see some further evidence that bulls are strong enough to fuel this move higher. Anyways, I want to keep going. I want to talk a little bit about the euro. The euro has been flying high. I had some attempts to short this thing, but everything has signaled me to no longer be trying to do that. Price is actually able to was actually able to break through consolidation pretty decisively recently. And if this does show some signs of continuation, if we see a push higher, any sort of pullback, in my view, even looks like it wants to continue. Right now, like I said, the dollar looks very weak going into this meeting. Will that continue? We'll have to see. Remember, guys, we will be live for this event. I stream with my team every one of these major news events, and I want you guys to be there. So make sure to join us on the live stream. One thing that you could do real quick, if you want to make sure that you don't miss it, a quick way to set a reminder is actually to subscribe to the channel and also click the notification bell so that when we go live, you'll get notified so that you can jump in on the action and be a part of everything that's going on. So hopefully we'll see some of you guys then. Another thing I wanted to look at is the pound. We mentioned that, again, inflation numbers came out hotter than expected. So why isn't the pound collapsing? Well, it's because of fears that the central bank will have to raise rates more aggressively in the UK. Will that set a precedent for the US? Perhaps that's why we're seeing a little bit of a pullback here in the early hours. If you take a look at things like NASDAQ, saw a little bit of pause after the recent run up, possibly due to the fact that, again, things like the UK have high spikes in inflation. Will that happen in the US? That's kind of the concern. That's possibly why we're seeing a little bit of a give back on the S&P and that sort of thing. Regardless, though, the pound looks very, very strong due to this this latest news coming out from the inflation report. This, again, until this cracks, there's nothing for me to do here on the long or short side right now. I don't love the pound in terms of a long side bias, as the US economy still looks stronger in terms of if we were to compare, for example, the pound USD. You can go in here and you can say, okay, pound in terms of COT data, institutional money is more favorable to the dollar. And if you take a look at economic factors, GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates all favor the United States economy. So not necessarily super bullish on the pound. Despite the recent run up, I still think that, there's just too much mixed sentiment. If anything, it'd be bearish if I had to pick one to buy the dollar or buy the pound, but not when price action is doing this, right? So there's no trade for me. If there was a trade, it would be something like this, where the market has started to fade the pound rally, and there would be that opportunity to potentially sell rallies myself. That would be how I'd be looking at the pound, but currently no interest. We may want to watch this one going into the news event to see if perhaps that narrative starts to change. If we get something suddenly hawkish for the dollar, something bullish for the dollar, that could cause some change in direction. One more thing, guys, I will say is that if you want access to the Edge Finder to try it out, this is also something we have trials available. Same rules go for what we said earlier. You can chat with us on our site directly. Open up that live chat feature by clicking the link, and then you can ask for a Edge Finder free trial, and one of our support reps there will allow you to try out the software if that's something you prefer over the Discord. So there you go. There's some free stuff in the chat there for you, literally. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day today. We'll see you hopefully on the live stream, and catch you next time. Before you go, make sure to check out our free Discord channel, linked down below in the description. And if you want to try out some of our products, our software tools here at A1 Trading, check them out for yourself down below. Also, if you enjoy our content here, we work really hard behind the scenes to bring this content to you each and every day. And if you enjoy our content, it would mean a lot to us if you hit the thumbs up button before you head out. Thanks for watching.